everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a Cateye nail set. This is my inspo picture. I'm not exactly sure who to credit because I found this on Pinterest, but I'll show it here for reference. Before we get into this design, I'm going to start by removing my old nail set using the Jello Peel Off Base Coat Remover Serum. I like to apply it to my cuticle area and underneath my nails, then let it soak in for about 5 minutes. After that, I gently start lifting around the edges with a wooden cuticle pusher, just enough to expose more of the natural nail underneath. Then I go back in with more serum, let that soak in for another 5 minutes, and then by that time my nails usually pop off really easily. I use this system all the time on my channel. When you purchase Jello, it comes with the peel off base coat and the remover serum I'm using right here. You apply the base coat after dehydrating and priming your nails, and it allows you to remove your nail set whenever you want. So with proper prep and application, your nail sets can last 2 to 3 weeks, which is amazing. It's just a super convenient way to remove your nails, so if you're interested, I'll have it linked down below for you guys, like always. Also, we're going to be doing a little unboxing today. I meant to show you guys this collection last month, but life got a little bit busy. This is the Rose and Rosy collection. It includes 15 silky magnetic gel polishes in soft pink and lilac tones. I'm going to swatch all the colors and I'll be using one of them for today's nail set. It's such a beautiful rosy Cateye collection, so if you're looking for new Cateye gels, I would definitely recommend this one. Here are all the swatches side by side. Let me know in the comments which color is your favorite. Now without further ado, let's get right into the prep. I'm going to start by trimming down my natural nails so that they don't show underneath my gel extensions. Then I'm going to go in with this cuticle serum from Sally Hansen, applying a generous amount to soften the cuticles. I let that sit for around 10 seconds before pushing them back with a metal cuticle pusher and gently removing all the buildup on my nail plate. Once that's done, I'm going to wash everything off with soap and water to remove the serum. This next step is optional, but I do like to clip any excess cuticle, just anything that's loose or hanging. After that, I'll lightly buff my nails with a buffing block to remove the shine and get them ready for prep. Now for a dehydrator, I'm using the Protein Prep Vitamin from Sweetie Nail Supply. This helps remove any dust, debris, and oils from the nail plate so everything adheres properly. Next, I'm going in with the Jello Peel Off Base Coat I mentioned earlier. This is what pairs with that remover serum. I apply this after dehydrating, and I like to do 2 thin coats, curing in between each layer for 60 seconds. I find this gives me the best removal later on. For extensions, I'm using Appraise Nail Gel X Tips in Sculpted Square Long. I was just in the mood for long nails today. I personally prefer the sculpted tips because my natural nails have more of a C curve, but honestly, these sculpted tips work very well on both flat and curved nail beds, so they're pretty universal. I'm going to size each tip to make sure that they fit perfectly from sidewall to sidewall. And for today's application, I'm not leaving a gap at the cuticle, so I'm not going to do any sort of overlay. The extension is going to sit flush right up against my cuticle, so that's how I'm going to size them out. And once I've got all my sizes, I'm taking my e-file, setting it to around 5,000 RPM, and etching the back side of each extension. This step is super important because it creates texture so that the gel can really grip onto the extension. I've noticed that whenever I skip this step, my nails tend to pop off, so I like to take my time and make sure that the entire inner surface is properly etched. This is the nail glue I'll be using today. It's actually an all-in-one overlay gel and base coat, which is super innovative. It's also from Sweetie Nail Supply, and I'll have it linked down below. You're also going to need a gooseneck flash cure lamp like this one to help cure your extensions in place. This comes in really handy. The one I'm using is motion activated as well, and I will also have that link down below. I'm going to apply the gel glue to the back of the extensions, focusing on the area that we etched, and then I'll add a little bit extra near the cuticle area. Then I'll take the extension and apply it on my nail at around a 45-degree angle from the cuticle and slowly pressing it down until the gel reaches the free edge of my natural nail. And once it's fully pressed down and there are no gaps or no air bubbles, I'll flash cure it under my gooseneck lamp for about 15 seconds to hold it in place. I'm going to repeat that same process on each nail, applying the gel glue to the backside of the extensions, placing it at a 45-degree angle, pressing it down until the gel reaches the free edge, and then flash curing. If you notice any air bubbles or air pockets, just remove the nail, wipe off the gel, and reapply it. You definitely don't want any air bubbles since those can lead to lifting. And once all the nails are applied, you'll want to do a full cure in your regular nail lamp to make sure everything is completely cured. After that, I'm going to go in with my hand file. This one is a 180 grit and it's just to refine the shape, just to straighten out the sides and edges and perfecting everything. Then I'm also going to go in with my e-file and lightly thin out the cuticle area just a bit. I'm using a 240 grit sanding band for this step at a speed of around 5,000 to 7,000 RPM. Even though these extensions already have a pretty thin cuticle area, I like to go over it just a little bit to make it ultra thin and really seamless. I'm also going to etch the entire surface of my extensions with my e-file. You can use a buffing block for this step if you'd like. I like to do both just to make sure everything is fully etched and really focus on those edges and corners. Next, I'm going to take a small amount of acetone on an oval brush and gently swipe it along the cuticle area. This helps melt the extension into my natural nail and creates a really seamless blend. And this is honestly one of my favorite steps. After that, I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol on a lint-free wipe and cleanse my nails to remove any dust or debris from filing and buffing. Now I'm going to go in with this rubber base from Soft Gel. I'm starting with a slip layer, which is basically just a thin coat over the entire nail. This helps guide the product when we go in with a larger bead. So I'll just pick that larger bead up and gently float it around the nail, kind of going side by side and allowing it to self-level. I like to use a short liner brush to help guide the product as well and just get near those edges and pull it closer to the cuticle for an even application. Flipping your nail upside down for a few seconds also really helps with leveling and creating a smooth apex. And once I'm happy with how everything looks, I'll flash cure it for about 20 seconds to hold the shape in place, and I'll repeat the same process on all of my nails. For this set, I wanted to use this milky white rubber base. If your extensions aren't very strong, you might want to go in with a builder gel instead of a rubber base for added strength, especially if you're trying to do long nails like me. Rubber base is more flexible, so I'm mainly using it here for the color since I know my extensions are already pretty sturdy. But if your extensions are a little bit more flimsy and you need to add more strength, I would definitely recommend going for something stronger. With that being said, once all the nails are done, I'm going to go ahead and fully cure everything in my lamp for 60 seconds. Now I'm going to go in with this Cateye gel polish from the collection. This is number 40. I'm going to put a small amount onto my nail art palette and coat my 15mm liner brush with it to create my French. I like to start with a line where I want my smile line to begin, and then I create a V shape and connect the lines together before filling it in. And that's how I create perfect Frenchies. I do apply a thicker coat of the Cateye gel polish for a more intense effect as well. Then I'm going to take my magnetic wand and use this to pull the magnetic particles towards the center. Then I go in with this magnet right here and hold it at an angle. It's a little bit hard to explain, but as you can see on the screen, it shifts the particles upwards towards the French line and creates kind of like this double French effect. And that's exactly how I created that Cateye French tip. And once I'm happy with how it looks, I flash cure it right away. And that's really important to do because the magnetic particles can start to diffuse if you wait too long. And I'm also going to apply the Cateye gel polish to my ring finger again using a slightly thicker coat. This time I'm using the wand to pull the magnetic particles to one side, creating more of like a slanted Cateye effect. And as soon as I like how it looks, I'll flash cure it again. Then I'm going to go in with a white gel polish using the same liner brush to create my French tips on my pinky and my thumb. The polish I'm using is from Valentino Beauty Pure. It's honestly one of the best white gel polishes I've ever used, It's super pigmented and really easy to work with, and it's definitely been my go-to. Then I'm going to apply a matte top coat to all of my nails except for my middle finger, since that one doesn't need it. And I'm going to fully cure everything in my lamp for 60 seconds. After curing, I'm going to lightly buff the surface of my matte nails with a buffing block, just kind of a quick pass, and this step will help make sure that the chrome powder we're about to use doesn't stick where we don't want it to. Then I'll dust everything off with a brush. Now I'm going to go in with this crazy gel from Sweetie Nail Supply. This is in the standard version, and I'm using a super fine liner brush. I actually trimmed the bristles myself to make it extra thin, and I'm going to create some abstract line work. I'm not aiming for perfect straight lines or anything. I'm keeping my wrist really loose to create more of like a wavy, organic look, and I'm mostly focusing these details along the edges and corners of the French tip, just adding random irregular strokes to give it that textured design. I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds, and then I'm going to go in with this gold chrome powder using an eyeshadow sponge. I'm going to gently rub it over the crazy gel that we just cured. And as you can see, none of the chrome powder is sticking to the rest of the nail. That's because we applied the matte top coat earlier and lightly buffed the surface as well, so it works perfectly to keep the chrome only where we want it. Then I'll use the clean side of my sponge to lightly wipe away any excess and clean everything up. Then I'm going to go in with the thicker version of the crazy top gel to adhere my charms. I have this really cute butterfly pearl charm that I've always wanted to use. The inspo picture had a bow, but I didn't have one like that, so I swapped it out for this. And honestly, I think it turned out super cute. I just like to apply a small amount of the thick gel, place the charm, and then flash cure it under my UV lamp for about 10 seconds to hold it in place. And then I'm going to go in with some gold caviar beads and small white pearls. I'm using the same crazy thick top gel to put these caviar beads on. And I'm going to focus on areas where the chrome looks a little bit sparse or where I feel I could add more dimension. This is also kind of a great way to camouflage any areas where the chrome application didn't turn out exactly how you wanted it to, and just kind of cover up those spots. And I'm placing them around the design, kind of trailing them up towards the butterfly charm or just anywhere where I see fit. And once I'm happy with the placement of everything, I'm just going to flash cure everything in place and then do a full cure for 60 seconds to lock it all in. To finish everything off, I'm going to go in with my favorite top coat from Sweetie Nail Supply. This is the Mayo Glossy Top Coat. It self-levels beautifully, it's non-yellowing, and it applies super smoothly. I like to apply top coat over the pearls and caviar beads as well, because if you leave them uncoated, the paint on them can start to scratch off or lose their shine over time. And if you've worn pearl or caviar beads before on your nails, you probably already know what I mean. They just don't stay as nice long term, so I always like to seal everything in with some top coat to keep them looking fresh for longer. And once that's done, I'll just go ahead and fully cure it for 60 seconds. After curing, I'm going to take my hand file and lightly refine my tips. Since these are square nails, I like to sharpen up and perfect the shape at the end. I think it makes a really big difference. Then I'm going to finish off with some cuticle oil. This is the Peach Cuticle Oil from Blossom. It smells amazing and it really helps hydrate the surrounding skin and nails. And here are the finished nails! I'm honestly obsessed with how these turned out. The Cateye effect is so mesmerizing and beautiful, and I just love how everything came together. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and if you enjoyed this tutorial or found it helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one.